Am I live? Oh, it says I am. But let's have a little chat from someone that really knows about being live.
And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it. Yes, namely, the Max Syndrome story.
No.
Afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger, namely, Max Syndrome. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy my film.
Oh God, I just love it. I love it. Right, let's cut to the chase. Journey of a Confused Artist. What on the earth is it all about? Right, I'm going to start from the beginning. And it's this book. And as you can see in this book, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of research and writing. And if you've been a subscriber, you would have been watching many of the videos, including fraud and forgery, artists, famous artists that didn't get on very well with each other. All this kind of research is in Journey of a Confused Artist, with the outlook of getting my arse out of this departure gate and going to a particular venue place to do my research. And we're going to go traveling around the world, and we're going to look at traditional art throughout all these different regions and how they impacted on art today and back in those days. We're not getting very far, and that's because of you. I've got everything ready. I've got everything packed up. I've got my passport, all these kind of things, but no one seems to be helping. So let's go and have a little look at some of the, even got it here, all the research that I've spent time and effort into. Right, so this one starts, and I'll read it here, on the 14th of November, 2022, 4:32 a.m. I woke and onto YouTube to learn more about my journey. I had to learn about filming, editing, and posting videos to TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and all those other social medias. Listening and viewing and thinking of the start and how we're going to carry on. This one was quite good, and if you've seen the video, it got a lot of thousands and thousands of views. Dudley Moore and Peter Cook was part of my research for the comedy sketch of the gallery that they went to, were art critiques. You gotta watch it, it does make me laugh. And I think my editing was pretty darn good, considering I did study it at university. So we look at that. New format for critiques, here's how it works. I recorded them scene by scene and tried to upload the audio, and as predicted, it didn't work. And as you go through this journey, you'll find that a lot of things do not work. Mr. Computer decides when it wants to do things and how it wants to do it, and a lot of the time it's not what you want. And that's the same with painting. You start painting, I don't know how you felt, but sometimes the idea you have in your head and the composition that you have in your head, and you say, oh, we're going to do it like this, and it's going to have trees there, and we're going to go through the Golden Mile and everything like that, all nicely, correctly worked out. Nah, it doesn't want to do that, and it will do what it wants to do and how it wants to do it, and you just have to go on this journey with it. You have no choices. And so we carry on. Here we go. In town, I sat outside a cafe with my drink, looking up. I noticed a strange man standing frozen as people navigated around him. He stared with great emotionless and motionless concentration at me and over me. This is how I start, writing all these things down in life. You just see these observations and just write it down. This was quite weird. I pretended to be looking at messages on my phone to avoid his spooky gaze. And looking up again, I can see that he was collecting cigarette butts. It was obviously on the street. And I noticed that on my table outside this cafe was a ashtray that happened to have a cigarette in it that was virtually unsmoked. And he was obviously standing there staring, waiting for me to move so he could swoop in and collect it. And he was rather peeved that I wasn't really moving very far. Um, uh, a conversation jumper. A man casually engages conversation with everyone in his vicinity in this place, and he just keeps walking up to people and bar staff and just yeah. Anyway, that was on that day. Watching more YouTube videos on the 15th of November 22 again. How you can create with Brian Sewell, and he was looking at how to interpret art from certain criteria, such as the subject, the brushstrokes, the texture, the style, and all of that would give you some kind of a guide as to the art when it was created. So effectively, with these little formulas, you could go into an art gallery and you could stand there while everyone's going, yes, I think it was done in the Renaissance period. And you can look at the actual artwork and look at the brushstrokes, and you can pretty much gather whether it was done in 1862 or whether it was 1902, just by those certain things. They will guide you. And that's how, you become an art critic. I've kind of gathered that as I've continually done my research, and I've picked up a lot. More art programs that I was watching with Draws Off, and that was the Big Naked. Interesting to see artist contestants painting a life drawing. Now, this was a BBC show where they got artists and still life and also nude people for life drawing, and they were gonna. And they all had different styles and techniques, and then each one had to choose which one they preferred and which one they liked, and it went on to the next stage. Some were very in vogue for that time. So that was really quite interesting. I tend to do this practice in my mind. Yeah, that's another thing. I have a tendency of, I don't know what you're like, by actually pre-painting it in my mind. I will sit there and I'll go, it's going to look like this, and then I have that. No, that colour's not going to work. So I kind of preemptively do the artwork before I've even picked up the brush, and so I kind of know in my head where the colours will go and roughly. And like I said, as soon as I start, then the painting will go. Yeah, don't like that. There was an incident, a little story. It's not this one. That was a Canadian forest that I did. No, this was Autumn Mist, and I had done this painting. I was working at a store, and they were getting rid of canvases and pre-printed canvases with stupid pictures on it, or I don't know, bowls of fruit or whatever. And I got this canvas, and I thought, brilliant, I'll motion paint over it, all white, and then I'll do my painting over it. Being a starving artist, it's cheaper to do it that way. Yeah, well, the acrylic paint wouldn't adhere to the vinyl paint that I put over it, and it just kept slipping off, and so I wanted to put my foot through it. I wanted to smash it up, and I thought, calm down, and I threw it into the courtyard outside my apartment and just left it there. And I thought, come on, I'll stick it in the alleyway and put my foot through it later. And then in the morning I went out, and Mother Nature had urinated all over it, basically. She had piddled all over my artwork, and I looked at it and I was like, whoa. Wow, look at the texture on that. It had made these weird droplet marks into the acrylic paint and sort of moved down a little bit. It wasn't purely dripping, it was... And it was a texture I would never have been able to do. And I thought, right, take it back in, let it dry off, and then I repainted over it when it had dried. And for some reason, the paint adhered to it a lot better. And it was the most amazing painting that I've ever done. And thanks to Mother Nature for adding her little bit in. Oh, isn't she sweet? Yeah, so I was also continually doing my research for Florence, the Medici family, the birth of Renaissance, Michelangelo, Da Vinci. And they didn't get on. No, they did not. They hated it. I don't know about you, if you've done research in art history, some of it is just so fascinating. You know, Caravaggio, freaking murderer, you know, and Gauguin just goes over to Tahiti and just basically impregnates all the indigenous species and gives them syphilis, I think it was. Great artist, you know, really made his mark, didn't he? Yeah, so the Medici family, now they were obviously traders in, you know, the Dutch trading company and such forth. They were patrons of the art, and a lot of the artwork that you actually do see, you know, Da Vinci's work and such forth, they were all commissioned by the Medici family. So we do have a lot to thank the Medici family. Botticelli, Donatello. No, and it goes here. Oh yeah, I sent a message on Instagram asking for advice on places to go in Florence, and I got quite a lot of good responses. I don't know if any of you have actually been to Florence, and if you have, maybe some of the places that they're saying down here that I should go to visit and gather that information for Journey of a Confused Artist. The Uffizi Gallery, the Medici Chapel, obviously Medici, and I had to go to Perugia, Fra Angelico, Francescine della Piero. Gotta find that out if I leave this airport, and with your help. Oh yeah, and I received a fantastic message from, and this is a good one, nice contact to have. Right, so it was from Carlos Rodolfo Escala Fernandez, and he was the International Selection Committee for the Durbaniel Biennale of Florence. And he also advised me to get timed tickets for the entry to these various galleries. It's obviously a lot cheaper. And basically actually gave me his own advice as to get into the Biennale. And good on him. I needed to do more research, so I was looking through. At last, after much investigation, this was a classic one. I sold my art on Artfinder, and then when I went to, it's years later, and I went to post up, and it wouldn't let me because obviously Artfinder had got bigger and bigger, and more picky with the artists, and it refused my artwork. And I was like, well, wait a minute, I'm already with you, and I've already sold a painting for a couple of £1,000. How can you sort of refuse me? Never one to give up. I went and reapplied with a fictitious name based on Gail, who passed away, and we used to, because we were so interconnected, we were called Dave and Gail. So I thought I'd create a character called Dave Gale, or Dale Gave, and so I posted this up, and I got accepted. How stupid is that? You know, same artwork, same person, just a different name. Absolutely pathetic. So I overcame that and I played the game. Yeah, absolute rubbish. And it's the same when you're applying for jobs. Sometimes, you know, you don't get through. And then you apply again with maybe a slightly different CV and you get through. It's like, well, what was wrong with the first one? Absolute rubbish. Never heard so much bollocks in my life. Yeah, so I'm looking at all these different places. Yet again, here you go. Early at 5:27 a.m. Woke up and clearly ready to do research. More answers on YouTube and how to transfer video files from an iPhone to a laptop. So I had to learn all these silly little techniques because half the time it wouldn't work. And then we get into, like, you know, once you've done the filming, editing processes, editing programs. How do you edit? You know, how do you do your thumbnails? Where do you go to design all that? Thankfully, I've got a degree in graphic design, so that wasn't too much, and I didn't have to ask anyone on Fiverr and pay them money for any of that. You know, I could do it all myself. But yeah, again, it's time and effort, and yeah, my time and my effort. But that's what you put yourself into. Oh God, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, due to the economy and the depression that we're going into, I found myself in a certain safe place and a little haven that I used to go to. And it was Weatherspoons pub, the Moon Underwater in Cheltenham. And in there, you could go and get unlimited amount of coffee for £1.50. And you had the TV there. You had free internet, Wi-Fi. And all of us, quite a lot of us, there was little cubby holes. If you got there early, you could get your cubby hole and set up your own little office with laptops and everything like that, and your free cup of coffee that you just keep filling up. And it became my office, and I could see that other people were doing exactly the same thing. And it's warm. So why not use their electricity, use their warmth, use their coffee, watch their TV, use their internet. Oh, I actually thought to myself, did J.K. Rowling do that when she was writing Harry Potter? I heard the stories that she was writing in a cafe. Maybe it was a Weatherspoons cafe. Maybe she was doing exactly the same as me. I don't blame you. Got to have a little pit stop. And yeah, so I started doing that. And then I was researching AIR, which is Artist in Residence. And I was looking at all these artists in residence and, research projects, a lot of it was to do with technology, ecology, diversity. It seemed to me that if you were a ethnic, lesbian, transgendered, bisexually depressed artist, covering all those little pronouns and whatever, you get a lot of attention and they probably invest in your art project. Unfortunately, me, just being a normal white middle-aged, well, getting on a bit more, heterosexual male, I don't kind of fill those criteria enough to warrant me standing out and having an investment, because I haven't got enough pronouns and I don't fulfill a deprived area of our society anymore. In fact, I think being a heterosexual white male is minimal these days, and so actually we're a minority now. Maybe we should set up some kind of group, white heterosexual lives matter. I don't know. Yeah, so in the morning again, back in Weatherspoons pub, doing all my... Oh yeah, and I started looking at Patreon. This is probably really boring. You go, yeah, get to it. I might give you a little bit more here. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, 8 powerful words of the day. I'll chuck a little bit of that in there. Believe in yourself. Behave that you can, and you will. Stay strong. Dream, believe, and achieve. What a load of crack that is. Never give up. A little progress each day adds up to big results. Well, whoopee-doo. That's revolutionary. Haven't heard that one before. Good God. It's like with everything, right? A little tiny... Count of Monte Cristo. Bit by bit by bit. Tap, tap, tap. Eventually, over time, you'll get through. It's the same with society. If you could start pestering people bit by bit by bit, you'll make some kind of effect later on. God knows how many years down the line. Be grateful. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Yeah, that's happened a lot to me. Work hard. Good things come to those who hustle. I like a bit of hustle, that's okay. Don't know about working. Well, constantly work hard. I actually put down, I work so hard, yet fail so easy. And that's a little thing that I just wrote anyway. Stay humble. Work hard in silence. Let success make the noise. That was quite interesting. Be kind. Kindness makes you the most beautiful person in the world. I did say that. I am being kind to you all. You need to be kind to me, you know. Add some comments and things like that. I don't know. Go on, type in there. What a load of rubbish. You know, things at the end of the day, you're an artist, and if you're watching this, you've got thoughts in your head, and you're kind of questioning yourself. Things like fear. How do I overcome fear in my artwork? What stage do I say, this painting's finished, and I can put it aside and move to the next one? Because we all get that stage where we're like, it's not quite finished, but I really like it the way it is, and I'm scared if I move forward, I'll ruin what I've done. Well, in today technology, just take a flipping photo. Take a photo and then it's recorded. Obviously, you're going to be painting over the original and you won't be able to go back, but with digital art, you know, hey-ho. Anything is possible, and you can't believe anything that you see these days with the dark cloud and everything like that. This is quite a nice one. The most seductive thing about art is the personality of the artist itself. And Paul Cézanne. Oh, this one. Now, this one says it all. You have to think about this, because society has changed with technology so much, even in the last year with the AI. AI has just jumped in, and this is just the start. Now, this quote, very poignant. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. Now, you think about that. And that was by Albert Einstein. One of the world's most famous physicists is even saying that our own technology is to our own demise. We're forgotten about. You know, I was thinking yesterday about developments and how quick. We seem to be moving so quick, developing. We haven't even taken the time to appreciate what we've just developed before we've already moved on to another one, and another one, and another one. And each time, we're creating barriers that we have to overcome. Effectively, we're firefighting. You know, we're not taking the time and effort to just appreciate what we've already created, look at it carefully, make those amendments with a clear head, and move forward. No rush. And there is a little quote, you know, the problem with life in the fast lane is you get to the end in an awful hurry. I'm not in any hurry to get to the end of my life in the motorway. Thank you very kindly. So yeah, I've done all this research and collected all this together. And if you've gone to Journey of a Confused Artist on YouTube, you'll see there's over 200 videos covering a lot of subjects. A lot of it is quite scary. The crime and forgery within art. The art market itself. I've just posted up a video that's on investment in art. Why do people invest in art? And it will show you about stocks and shares and how it is a commodity, a stable commodity that doesn't get affected by increases in tax or inflation or anything like that. The market will not be affected by that. It will be affected by different other kind of factors, scarcity, you know, rarity, these kind of things. And all of it really is down to that. And then the practices of criminal activities behind the theft of art, and the fact that a lot of it is stored away without you knowing about it, only to come into the foreground when appropriate. Yeah. Oh, now, because I study graphic design, there's this really fantastic woman, graphic designer called Paula Scher. And her visual language was amazing. And she was a bit like Milton Glaser. I remember him with his typefaces and fonts and such forth, typography. And yeah, she did an absolutely amazing poster painting out of calligraphy, but with all the American states. And sat there painstakingly writing it all in different fonts, making it all up. Hand done, not sitting there with a computer and letting AI do all the work for you. And that's the other thing, AI. Well, AI, quite simply, should be there as a tool, just like a pen, just like a brush. It's not a means to an end. You shouldn't sit there and go, right, paint me a picture about, I don't know, ducks on a river. Anyway, enough of that. God, I'm talking a lot. I can hear my parents in the background. I think we can go on to, I'm just investigating this. I really don't know what we do. Can we go into a survey or something? Oh, you go up and down. What's all, live chat. Some messages such as potentials, hide, cancel. Oh, I don't know about this. Anyone just engage and just sort of go, I'm listening to you, or I'm not. What's all that? Highlight saved to your channel as unlisted video. Oh, bugger off. Cancel share. Oh, I'm just going to keep going. Oh, I'm seeing some sewing. She's an artist as well. Internal artist. Don't want to disturb her while she's been creative. I'm just going to go to have a little word with one of my friends here. I think he's got a lot of interesting things to say. We'll just listen to what my mate Max.
Only the other day I heard someone say, he's nothing but a robot, covered in makeup, talks a lot of nonsense. What a way to talk about the President of America. Just chatting away to Harry back there. Everyone knows that frozen peas are as fresh as the moment the pod went pop. But what about frozen meat? Is that as fresh as the moment the cow went? What would you do to help the world if you could spend £30,000 a week for the next 1,000 years? Well, that's how much the government are spending on Trident missiles. Don't facts like that just wipe you out?
Oh, you just got a cracking well of it, haven't you? Yeah, there you go. So, little quoties from our mate Maxi Headroom. God, I remember the days in the 80s. I was thinking about doing a video about art of the 80s. And I have actually done some research just to give you a little bit of an insider. So what I was looking at, obviously nostalgia, like The Breakfast Club and all those kind of films. I remember MC Hammer. Yeah, a bit of that. But no, Roy Lichtenstein, Keith Haring, James Rosenquist, Jean-Michel Basquiat, you know about him, Yin Yang Taifeng, William de Kooning, Jeff Koons, Rabbit, yep, Rabbit. God, I wish I could just create a flipping blow-up bunny and sell it for 135 million. What a pile of cack that is. We'll get not a banana, stuff the banana, get a courgette maybe, or a carrot, and just, not even staple it, I might nail it to a wall. Yeah, really authoritative, like, yeah, you ain't going nowhere. Banana with tape on it, you know, you can just peel that off. Nah, I'm gonna staple it to the wall. Bob Dylan, Sylvester Stallone, Pierce Brosnan, Tony Curtis, all of them. Famous film stars, famous songwriters, also famous artists. Why do they paint? Well, they just want a release, don't they? And get all that aggression out of them. Everyone's there going, yeah. Piers, need a bit of you here. Yeah, I know you got 007 status, but I just want a bit of 002 at the moment. Not asking for too much from you, am I, Piers? Yeah. All Sylvester. Well, you finished in the ring, Sylvester, and you've done your painting. We'd like you out on set. No, he likes actually doing his painting to release himself. And the same for Tony Curtis. He likes doing cats on window ledges. Quite good. Very colourful as well. Bob Dylan is quite a mixture, actually. But yet again, he does bang them out. There is really, really good cause for celebration in his work. And yet again, these people aren't doing it for money. You know, everyone keeps saying, oh, I still get it. Oh, yeah, how many have you sold of your artwork? It's not about that. And freaking paint to sell. Good God, they didn't teach that at art college. Well, excuse me, you cannot pick up that brush and do any work until you've sold the last painting that you had. What a load of cock. I've never heard anything so bollocks in my life. You remember the amount of thousands and thousands of artwork that Picasso has done? And we don't even have to talk about Picasso, we can talk about any artist. They don't sit there and go, well, I can't do the next one until I've sold this one. What a load of rubbish. It's a journey, it's a creativity journey. It's making mistakes, it's finding where your direction is. And that's not anything, it's the psychology of it all, the release, the mindset. You know, mental health and everything like that as well. It's not about the money, as these people have just shown. They don't need the money. They need the release. So, yeah, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Then I've been writing a book, haven't I? Good God, that was difficult. And I created an ebook called Paparazzi Tales. And that's got all the dirty facts and figures and stories that you would not have known. Gustav Klimt. Yeah, he does like cats. And so does his artwork. You get one of his paintings, you might go closer to it and give it a... Ooh, smells a bit pungent. You should probably find out the reason why. Alright, so just go through all of this. I won't go through all of it because I've got to save some for later. Oh, Drius Kettles. Now, he's a YouTuber. He's got 24,000 subscribers. I've got 87. People don't subscribe anymore. He was back in the early days when people going, oh, I quite like that video, I'll just put subscribe. Not really thinking about it. You know, I watch so many YouTube channel programs and I never subscribe. I watch, or binge watch. I'll remember and go back to them. But no, it's not important to me, really, you know. And no one's doing that either.
What does amoeba mean anyway?
I don't know. I don't live around here either. More.
No, not so loud. They may hear you. Another show, another headache.
Yeah. Muppet Show. My friend went and worked on Jim Henson, and that was it. She worked on Jim Henson, Claire, and she ended up doing something on set for The Phantom Menace, Star Wars. She didn't even know anything about Star Wars, didn't even like Star Wars. How did she get to that level? And I'm not being funny, she was rubbish at college. Absolutely flipping waste of space. Blonde flipping Welsh. Just because she lost a lot of weight, she was a real frump. Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Art. Yeah, that was quite interesting. Finding out about all the theft going on. BBC News flash, you know, Hardwick Fisher resigning from the British Museum because someone went and stole his little goods. What a load of rubbish. And there are lots of... Hollywood seems to like that. They love a good bit of crime and theft, especially in the art world. Thomas Crown Affair, those kind of films. Heists. This was a classic one. Bruce Willis. Hudson Hawk. Oh God, he really scraped the bottom of the barrel. And did you know Van Gogh was influenced by Japanese prints? Ah, there you go. And he used to use that in his work. Oh God, there's so much down here. Michelangelo, inspired and reflected by Masasio's expulsion of Adam and Eve. You see how different artists are affected by the other different artists. And even like, you know, like we say, Michelangelo was affected by traditional art from other countries. Japanese prints, wood prints. Now, predominantly, Japanese wood prints are very flat, two-dimensional, very little depth of field. And I suppose Andy Warhol, with his screen printing, is pretty much the same. So it affected a lot of these artists as they moved forward, all these influences. Now the ones that are getting influenced now is AI. AI is the one that's picking up on it. We're getting lazy little bastards and we're just sitting there putting our feet up, pushing AI and saying, oh yeah, create a picture about this. Like I said, ducks in the water, ducks in the evening, ducks in the raging sun. That's not the kind of art that I want. I want to feel someone's heart and soul in that art. I don't want to see a computer's little algorithm in the art. God, they're banging with the plates in there. I was watching quite a lot of these videos. I'm watching one at the moment, Think Media, because I like to learn about YouTube, and me just hence doing this. Probably a load of bollocks, really. It won't even work, and I'll have done it and gone, I did what you said, exactly what you said, and got no results. I've been doing all these videos, YouTube videos, no result. I also did and published a book, Journey of the Confused Artist, which is actually all about this. And in the book, it's published, it's on Amazon. It's paperback at this moment. I'm working on the second one, which is going to be The Price of Art. But in this first book, it's the start of the journey. And like I said, I am at a departure gate, not going very far. With your help, I might be. And then I can continue with the next book. The first one really was investigatory. It was me finding out what the bloody hell you have to do to... create, and I get an Amazon coming back to me going, oh, it's 0.3.706 quad whatever out, can you change that and move that back? What a load of... But eventually got it done. It's out there. Sold a few of them. Certainly not going to be a millionaire on get to this place. Andy Warhol, auction, sales process. This is quite an interesting one. See, this is what I just write all this stuff down. I don't know, any of you lot, do you do research like this? Or do you just pick up your little brush and go, oh, I like sitting there doing flowers. I've got some flowers in a bowl there. Could get my brush out and start painting that. And yet again, would I be doing it for money? How many pictures and paintings and whatever of flowers in a vase can you see? Yeah. Gonna see that at Sotheby's and Christie's going for record amounts, aren't I? Well, the first thing is at these auctions, a bit of arse licking needs to be going on with curators and art gallery owners. But you need an appraisal. There'll be the valuation. And the seller will put it all to the auction house. A lot of it is down to the provenance. And as you've seen in my video, John Drew and the John Myatt case, You can get a Providence. A man of IQ of 162 knows how to get a Providence for you. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anymore. You've got to watch the video. Good God, you don't know how much time and effort it takes to produce these videos. Right, I'll just tell you from the very beginning. One is doing all this research, and that could take weeks. It could take a couple of days. I've seen people just bang them out and don't even care or even think about it. And they get thousands and hundreds of thousands of views, and it's pissing me off. But no, I spend a lot of time doing the research, like I've just done, for all of these. And like the shorts here, you got your first. It's a formula that I wrote a film script that went. I even got a letter back from Ridley Scott, apologising for not being able to read my script called The Eden Complex, and that was in 1999 that I wrote it. And you see it all the time now on these films. It was all about a biosphere and how we overpopulate the world. And so we have to look at normal uninhabitable environments, such as deserts, and like a virus, infiltrate that. So they create biospheres. And the film actually is a bit of a culling process. Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. Get rid of some of the wasted people. So anyway, I started investigating that, and in what I learned was everything's down to, you have a trip point. If you watch any kind of American film, within 5 minutes there'll be what's called a trip point, and that will lead you on to the next trip point, the next part. So within 5 minutes there'll be that point that will push the story forward. It won't just, it'll be a spike. And it's the same when you're creating videos. So you've got the first 10 second, the hook, you know, and you'd have that in a film. All these mystical characters, and you're like, who's that, what are they doing, why are they doing this, you know, for the first 10 minutes or whatever. And then there'll be the trip point. Obviously it's a bit shorter, you know, you get up to 30 seconds in a long form, and then you've got the rest of the film. But even through that, you will have points where you push the story forward, and it's all formulated. In fact, I learned that there's 8 archetypal formulas. One of them is the Herculean, where, and you see this in Star Wars. I got interviewed, and Harry Potter. I got interviewed on Late Night Live TV when I first went to London Design Agency, and they interviewed me on TV because I read Harry Potter and I was an adult, and they opened the programme up on me and said, David, you're 35 years old, you're an adult and you read children's books. Pathetic, what a bunch of... I got a free beer out of it anyway. Yeah, so there's 8 archetypal formulas, and the Herculean one is where, like Harry Potter and Luke Skywalker, they discover that their father was a great wizard, he was a great Jedi, and they've got to overcome blah blah blah. It's the same. And when I said that and on national TV, I don't know if it went down too well. So there we go. Art does not have intrinsic value. Well, it's controlled by a small market. There's a small amount of people that govern the art market and the art world. Oh, Charles Saatchi, bless him, an incubator who invests in young up-and-coming talent, like the YBA, and Hursty Boy was one of his little prodigies. Basically, they hook on to emerging artists. Predominantly for Saatchi, it was, if you've won the Turner Prize, here's a little gold card, come and join my club. We'll get rich together. So yeah, little things like that go on. God, there's so much research here. And that's why it's better if you just go and buy the frigging book. You know, because it's all there. Behind closed... Oh, yeah, art behind closed doors. Accessibility. Now, that was one thing that I was thinking about. You've got all these people that have these famous works of art as a status symbol, stuck up in mansions or whatever. Only a very few get the privilege to actually view it. Really, that art should be open to the public. And how they do that is they donate it to museums and art galleries, ostensibly. Because you can get 30% tax reduction. So, if you bought it for £100,000, 30,000 could be tax-free off by you donating it. But you donate it, you still own it, and it's still an asset. It's just not taxed. And year after year, you can slowly do that. And yeah, that's one little loophole that the rich and famous can get away with. So these are the kind of reasons that people invest in art. It's appreciation in value as well. You know, it's scarcity. I also really thought about the Geneva Freeport, and I've said it in my other videos. It's got special rooms for independent sales. So you don't know how many sales are going on there behind closed doors that are not live. It's not through an auction house. It's not being recorded. No one knows about it. Sometimes you want that work to be recorded to escalate the value of your current exhibition or current collection. Famous people have something like 130 of Andy Warhol's paintings, and they'll pump it out into the market, and you don't know who's bidding because you can do it over the phone or over the internet, and you could be bidding on your own artwork in order to increase the value of the other artwork that you have. Regurgitating the money. It's just, and it's ungoverned. As soon as you get that artwork and you stick it in the Geneva Freeport, it's tax-free and it's hidden away there. And like I said, you can do, or they do, private sales. You've got a special room, you can get your Van Gogh or your Edvard Munch screen. You can have your person sitting there looking at it and they go, well, wasn't it stolen? Was it? I never heard that it was stolen. It's here. Added to that, you get someone that goes in there, a forger, and you say to them, look, you've got access to this original. Toddle off. Go and do a forgery. Oh, Mr. Drew, I need a provenance to show that it's an original, so can you forge that? You get the forgery, you get the provenance, pump it out in the market. All the time the original is still stuck, hidden away in the Freeport. And years down the line, someone discovers, wait a minute, this one that this art museum has is a fake. Oh, look. Wow. Another couple of years or whatever, further down the line, the original's mysteriously been found. Oh my word, up with the value. Yeah, it's not all about the brush, is it? It's not all about techniques. Loads of art channels have all these techniques and, you know, just fill you in there. That's not what Journey of a Confused Artist is about, is it? Economy of art, Raiders of the Lost Ark. These are just type price of art. That was what I was looking for. Who, what, where, why, when. Did you know that in the Geneva Freeport there is something like $70 billion worth of artwork that's never been seen? It's all stored there. The art market itself is worth 1.7 trillion. Now, if there's only a few finite people involved in the actual art market that are buying and selling and moving the art around the place, 1.7 trillion is a heck of a lot of money to be shifting around the place, isn't it? All ungoverned. Someone, I went to a print exhibition last Sunday, down in Bristol. Simon Tozer, I met, little guy, and he was telling me about a book that was, because I was going on chatting to him about my channel and my book, and he said that there's an interesting book out there whereby the story is this notorious gangster family, in order to pay for illegal activities and such forth, the currency they were using, I suppose in a way you see it is in John Wick, you know, with the coins. It was their payment, and they would pay by art. You try tracking it all down. You can't track down money, and you can't track down transactions over the internet. I'll give you a Picasso, and you go and hide that, you know. So they were paying with art as a commodity. Makes you think, doesn't it? You can ship that off, can't you? If you want to money launder and you want to transfer money from one country to another, go to Geneva Freeport, stick it in a crate, all electronically done, and get it shipped off. Anyone going to be tracking it? I don't think so. There you go. And that's actually the black box of the art market. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, more writing and writing like I've been doing. Starving Artist being Departed Food Hall. Pinterest. Oh, God. How many times have we all been told, got to go to TikTok, post up your... I've been investigating lots of other artists that are out there. I don't know how you feel. How do you promote yourself? How do you promote your art? What activities do you do? Do you promote your art? Are you bothered about promoting art? Maybe, just maybe, you just enjoy, like Pierce Brosnan and that. You're comfortable enough that you don't need to. Was a starving artist. The thing is, back in the early days, you know, Michelangelo and Da Vinci were commissioned by a patron, commissioned to do work for them. They didn't have cameras and videos or whatever, so in order to catalogue their, you know, leverage in society, their status, they would have a portrait done or of their family or their land or whatever it might be. They would commission a famous artist to do that. Now, Da Vinci and Michelangelo didn't create their artwork purely for money. They got paid by the patron. That meant that they could eat and move on to the next artwork. And they didn't sit there purely doing commission after commission. They were using that money to be able to create more. So you've got to think of it that way. It's not all about money. Why would it be about money? If it was about money, wouldn't you get taught that at school? First thing the tutor used to do with you when you were at school is shut you all up and stick you in a classroom with loads of paint and glitter and crack on with it, have a fun. And that's what we all did. We loved it. They didn't sit there and say, be very careful because when you finish that one, we're going to sell it because we'll just say that you're a child prodigy. That's the other thing. Child prodigies. You look at it and a lot of these people go, my little daughter could do that and she's only 2. What these people are doing is they're getting a video of a little 2-year-old slapping and sticking it on a canvas and then saying, oh, is a prodigy. Look at the movement, look at the expression. What a load of... I don't know. Maybe I'm bitter and twisted, I don't know. I don't see any of you lot contacting. I think I might just do something like... Oh, I don't know. I don't... Well, remember to guard your privacy and settings, learn more. No, I have no idea. What does that do? No. Chat, viewing options, top chat. No idea. What does that plus mean? Oh, start a poll. There you go. Ask your community. What you have as an artist. Boom. Ah. See, yet again, you just got to keep learning. I have no idea whether that'll work or not. This is a live chat for, I'm going to say close to an hour. Might do another one tomorrow. I'm kind of like doing it as a bit of a quick overview. Like I said, you know, it's like with everything. You just got to test the waters. You've got to make these mistakes. Embrace it. Go on with it. Make another mistake. What was it Bob Ross used to say? We don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. Too right. Modigliani. Oh, the seated man. Yeah, the John Deere and John Mayer. Pin their crumbs. Oh, God. Oh, God. I think the next one I'm going to go through the paparazzi because I think you'll enjoy this. Damien Hirst dedicated nearly a year to stalking down a young teenager. Do you want to know the story of that? Go and watch the video. It's called Ugly Artists. Journey of a Confused Artist. Go to the actual one that says Ugly Artist, and you'll find out about Prince as well. Absolutely. I think I might do what Prince does, you know, see how it goes to court and then just laugh in their face and deny it all. Oh God, all these different art techniques. You know, these little art techniques, there's a new one that came out and everyone was loving it, that pour technique. You get a canvas and you get your acrylic paint to a certain viscosity. Then you pour it on and you move it, and then you move things like that on it and go, wow, it's amazing. God, I could sneeze over it and say, wow, look at the spread of paint, how my snot and my spreading of germs made it, quite expressionistic. I was trying to give my inside into this artwork. What a cock of... I try so hard and fail so easy. Told you that before. Oh. I went wandering around, checking out the art on the street of Cheltenham, and it was their painting graffiti that was going on, and I was filming it, and because I researched graffiti, and there's other stories, and we'll talk about that another time. When I was at university, there's some really good stories. In fact, I might do a university sort of breakdown, what it's like today and what it was in my day. But anyway, I wandered around and I went into art galleries, and unfortunately I have a bit of advice. And I basically said what I thought about some of these paintings that were in there, and the art directors, owners, nearly threw me out of one up in not Parabola. I won't say the name. But they were very, very pretentious women. And when they asked, what are you filming for? Can we ask what you're filming for? I just turned around and said, no. I said, sorry, I was being very rude. And she went, yes. And I just laughed at her and carried on. I don't have to tell you anything. You know, you sit there at your desk, and I could hear her in the background talking so pretentiously and pompously, like, yes, I think we should have this. And when I asked her questions, simple little questions like, who predominantly buys this? Oh, anywhere and everywhere. I went, who paints them? Oh, anywhere and everywhere. You know, it's not, it's my point of view and how I feel. So this is all your taste. No. I'm like, you're contradicting yourself. You actually have no idea what the hell you're doing. You're sitting there, you're looking at other art, galleries and what crap they're posting up, and you're trying to emanate that and find other artists out there and posting it up and pushing it off. Oh, anywhere from anywhere. Really? And the work that I saw that you were exhibiting as art was underpainting. Pure and simple. You got to a level, like I said, when do you stop art? Well, a lot of these artists these days are doing the underpainting, you know, getting the shape, getting the structure right, getting the coloured tones of certain areas, and then bit of water, let it drip, sign it at the bottom, that's done. No, it's a good start. That's not completed. Why would I want to pay for a half-painted picture? Unless it's like, you know, paint by numbers and you can finish it when you go home. Well, stuff you. I'd rather actually get one that's actually finished. Get back to it, for goodness sakes, and stop flobbing it off to me. Half executed. Anyway, it looks to me like I've done an hour. No one's really got involved. They don't even know anything. And so I'm going to have to finish. I don't know how I finish. Do I just go... become a subscribey? For goodness sakes, you know. I don't do all this for my own health. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?